propose the toast to the Baron Bailie, I call upon Deacon Malcolm Sneddon. The duel of words is about to commence. Malcolm is a flag bearer with a long serving member to the Deacon's Court and tries to keep us in step on parade. Ladies and gentlemen, please, Deacon Malcolm Sneddon.
No pressure.
Be gentle.
No. My lady promised, Vice Admiral of the Fourth, who it was. Bailies, deacons, honoured guests, fraternities and all other hangers on. Today I have been asked to propose the toast to the Baron Bailie of Blackness. For such an important job, I decided I better start by doing some research into this historical role. So I thought to myself, where should I start? Should I ask the present Baron Bailie Brown of Blackness, formerly of Braehead? Or should I ask a local expert historian who's been getting an absolute hammering today already? Everybody's been stealing my Bruce Jimison jokes, but we'll get there. But anyway, Martin and I both agree Gordon Curry was a far better teacher anyway than Bruce, so Bruce, see you later.
On the kid.
For Martin and I, you could say there are a number of similarities. Parents were proud black bitches, twins running the family, although I'm not. We were raised in Braehead. We attended Linlithgow Primary School, then Linlithgow Academy. Talking of Academy, Martin and I followed similar paths, although he was a year above me in school. We studied craft and design at O grade. That's woodwork and metalwork for the elder generation around us. Saying that, Martin and I are getting on a bit, and it's probably called something else now as well. Anyway, back to the similarity, we both made desks. Let's just say mine was suitable enough to get a pass, but Martin's was no ordinary desk. No, Martin's was an M&S desk. Martin's was a prize-winning desk. For years this desk was Martin's pride and joy. And as the years passed, the family grew, and along came his nieces Stephanie and Ashley. One day they were at their grand's house and were getting a bit bored and asked if they could make a gang hut using Uncle Martin's desk. Gran said yes. Well, there must have been a slight misunderstanding, because minutes later the famous desk was in bits, parts were now being used as a gang hut, and the rest was firewood.
Sorry.
So back to the similarities. We both carried flags in the marches. Big sisters were even more daft in the marches than both of us put together. Where is she? Oh, she's there. Expert donut makers at the street fair. Although one year that was rather short-lived than experience. So you've got to understand the process of making donuts at the Deacon's Court. This is a time-honoured tradition that's handed down by past provosts. You really have to serve your apprenticeship with this one. Anyway, part of the recipe in the days gone by was making up using a glass Pyrex disc to measure the flour. Exact amounts as laid down. One year all I heard was this, a launch of expletives from over my shoulder as I'm busy frying the donuts. I looked over to see what the commotion about, and there's Martin with a rather sheepish look in his face. And a very long queue, and I'm saying, sorry, no more donuts. Well, street fair, donuts, tradition, it goes on, you know. I advise, it's no problem with the oil, it's fine, we've got plenty to go. Martin turns around and shows me the Pyrex disc with a rather large chunk missing from it, and a bag of flour, and we went, no more donuts because there's glass in the flour. So one of the roles of the Baron Bailie is to uphold the law in our haven of Blackness. Now during the last few years you would think that would be a relatively straightforward task, but however it did provide a few challenges. Who remembers those headlines in the national press? Gridlock and chaos, furious residents trapped as visitors flock to the seaside, residents trapped and can't get out of the village. It was all happening down in Blackness, and the Baron Bailie was at the fore of it. This was before there was a slight easing of restrictions, but even before we could get out and about, although the lobster pot and the castle were not open at the time. That said, later that same year there were allegations of partygate in Blackness, and the Baron Bailie was at the centre of these allegations. Just think of the reputation of Baron Bailie of the Deacon's Court. What are these allegations, I hear you ask? Well, let me explain. During lockdown and inability to get to the pub, as most of us did, myself included, there you go, another similarity, Martin built a bar in his back garden for him and Leslie to enjoy a drink or two. Now the one thing the Broons Bar has is a very picturesque view over the Forth to Bridges. Of course, anybody that follows Martin on Facebook will know that view on a morning, an afternoon, on an evening, on a sunset. and it appears many, many times along with the palace, St Michael's Church, the Loch, and as coincidence would have it again, I've actually got one of them in my bedroom. Thanks, Julie. Anyway, back to Partygate. Photographic evidence has been seen of the apparent breach of lockdown protocols in Blackness, with mixing of more than one household at a non-work event. He's claimed. Who are these offenders? Shocking behaviour. Imagine the Baron Bailie having such a disregard for the law here, unlike our politicians in Westminster. Well, don't shout for Police Scotland yet to investigate or even get the hanging Bailie involved. I can explain who was involved. Picture the scene: Martin and Leslie enjoying a quiet romantic drink one afternoon, and they were joined by Robin Bree's finest bullocks over the fence. Now, I started my speech with similarities, and I want to finish with one similarity. Martin and I both share an absolute love for the Marches Day and love hearing the bands. From the flutes at 5, the reed band at 7 and 11, and hearing all the bands, and I mean all the bands, as we go 3 times round the well. So, we all need a little prop from time to time to help us out. So, Martin, a small gift from me to you to enjoy the sound of your favourite band at 5 p.m. tonight as you walk round the cross. Shambalistic!
About clear?
Yes?
Go!
My Lady Provost, Deacon's guest, the toast is Baron Bailie of Blackness, formerly of Braehead, the Baron Bailie.